Good evening. Good evening, Jai Hind. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening, Radhe Radhe. So I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Okay, so first of all, welcome to the session. Last day we were discussing about one important topic, that was with respect to a petition in the Supreme Court for CAG related appointment. Then we have also discussed about India-New Zealand relations and some other topics also. We have seen in this week, we have also seen the location of Yemen, the location of Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, or even the Strait of Hormuz. So these are the important topics which we have seen in the last 2 days. Now in today's topic, in today's session, we are going to discuss about this Mudumal menhirs. That is one of the prominent topic from the prelims. Why this has been there in the news? What is the main part of it? We will try to discuss that. Okay. And at the same time, there is one mains related article which is with respect to free speech in India. There is a report. There is a report about this free speech. So we are going to see this topic in detail. That okay, what are the challenges or what are the different provisions with respect to free speech in India. Then we are also going to talk about the Supreme Court and Lokpal issue. Like last day we have discussed CAG. Now see, most of the important bodies which are there, like CAG is there, Financial Commission is there. Then we have this Lokpal also, Election Commission of India also. So I think in the last 1 month, we have discussed almost all these organizations, all these important bodies. Okay. And then we have this women voter participation also. This is also from the mains perspective. So we are going to see that what has been the participation of voter, the women voter particularly in the last 4 Lok Sabha elections. So we will try to see some figures also with respect to that. Okay. So these are the topics which we are going to see. Now, before we go into that, there is one information for all of you who are starting the preparation like from beginning, from the scratch. Okay. We are starting with this NCERT foundation batch from 1st of April. Now, all of you know that NCERT is one of the most crucial thing for your examination. Whether you are going for UPSC or state PCS or CAPF examinations or any other thing, what we see that NCERT makes the foundation for that, NCERT makes the base for that. So NCERT is one of the most crucial subjects which you have to study. And we are starting with this English and Hindi medium batches in live medium. This is going to start from 1st of April. So you can visit the website khanglobalstudies.com, okay, or through the application also. Those who are starting the preparation, those who want to like, many of you are approaching me also that how I should start the preparation. Some of you are writing that you have just passed class 12th also, what to do. So for that purpose itself, I have added this part that we are starting with the NCERT foundation batches and you can join it there. Okay. Now, so this is one part and these are the topics which we are going to see in today's session. Now there is one more aspect. Now we are going to talk about this one thing, some of the practice questions on the basis of topics which we have seen in the last session. The first one, with how many of the following countries India enjoy a trade surplus? First option is United States, Switzerland, Saudi Arabia and Nepal. With how many of these countries India enjoys a trade surplus? So this is the first question. Good evening. Okay, everyone is present. So tell me this part. This is the question. With how many of these countries India have got this trade surplus? Trade surplus means we are doing more export. We are doing more export and less import. So with which of these countries, with how many of these countries India is enjoying the trade surplus? Okay, some answer are option C, option B. I think some of you have said, Shaheen, Aarti have said option C. Yeah, Poonam Yadav has also said option C. Rest all other people, option B. Okay. So see, in this question, option B will be correct one. Let me show you this figure once again. We have this Saudi Arabia here and we also have Switzerland. So with Saudi Arabia and Switzerland, we have negative trade. And with Nepal and US, we have the positive trade. So United States and Nepal, we are having the positive trade. With Saudi Arabia and Switzerland, we are having the trade deficit. With Switzerland and this Saudi Arabia, we are having trade deficit. UAE also we have trade deficit. Iraq also trade deficit. Russia and China also. And on this side, we have the trade surplus. Now see this question. Consider the following statement. The trade deficit of India has been continuously increasing since last 10 years. India has maintained trade surplus in service sector in the last 10 years. There are two statements you have to say which of them are correct. First one is saying the trade deficit of India has been continuously increasing since last 10 years. Second one is saying India has maintained trade surplus in service sector in the last 10 years. Now we can start that attendance. Okay. That was also good days. Like we will have this in the beginning of the class itself, we will have that roll call also. And you all have to say present. But you don't have to give the proxy also. Like in colleges, you might have been using proxy by your friends and all. So that proxy will not be allowed. Okay, so that is correct here. If we look at this, trade deficit of India is fluctuating. It is not continuously increasing. So that is one incorrect statement. Now the second statement is saying India has maintained trade surplus in service sector in the last 10 years. So we have seen that continuously it has been fluctuating. It has been fluctuating, sometimes up, sometimes down. But there is a continuous trade surplus in case of service sector. So here we see that option B will be correct one. Answer here will be 2 only. Okay. Now coming to third question. With reference to the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, consider the following statement. The CAG is appointed by the President of India. The CAG audit the account of both the central and state governments. And third is saying the report of the CAG are examined by the Public Accounts Committee of the Parliament. How many of the above statements are correct? We have 3 statements here. CAG is appointed by the President of India. Second is saying CAG audits the account of both the central and state government. And third is saying the report of CAG are examined by the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. So question number 3. What will be the answer here? That is correct. I think everyone is going for option number C. So that third option is correct here. All 3 will be correct. So that is 3 questions and I think most of you have given the correct answer. So there is one good thing which I have seen, that honestly there is one good thing which I have seen, that okay, whatever topics we are reading, even after 2 or 3 months, if we are having questions on that, you are able to recall it. You are able to recall that topic, or you are able to recall the questions or the subject matter there. Okay. So that is one good aspect. Keep on revising the topics from time to time. Okay. Now let us start with today's topic. The first one is standing stones of Mudumal in Telangana on tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay. So now there is this one, like if you look at this, this is the menhirs. These are called as menhirs. Okay. They are called as menhirs. And we have got some of the menhirs in Mudumal. And this is located in Telangana. So now it has been officially put on the tentative list. It has been officially put on the tentative list. In the month of Feb itself, we have discussed about this, that which country has got the maximum number of sites under the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So now I am going to ask that question. Like, first thing is, there are certain questions. First, how many sites in India? The first one is this: how many sites in India under UNESCO World Heritage Tag? Second, which country has highest number? Which country has got the highest number? This is one thing which we have discussed in the last session. Last month, around 20 to 25 Feb, this was there in the news, UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So there we have seen that there is first a tentative list, then there is a nomination file, then there are advisory bodies of UNESCO, then there is World Heritage Committee, and then on the basis of criteria of selection, a place can be like categorized as World Heritage Site. So we have discussed that in the month of Feb, I think around 25th of Feb. So now I have one question. Now I have this one question: which country has got most number of World Heritage Sites? This World Heritage Site, which country has got the highest number? And how many sites in India? Okay, so some answers as United Kingdom, one answer as Italy. Now see, remember one part, United Kingdom has got 100, this United Kingdom, it has got 175 Ramsar sites. But here I am talking about the World Heritage Sites. And what we see that Italy has got most number of sites. Italy, it has got 60 World Heritage Sites. China has got 59, Germany has got around 50. Okay. And in case of India, we have got 43 such sites in India which are under the World Heritage Site of UNESCO. Okay. Now there is one part. Now there is this one part. We have got 43 World Heritage Site. Now what is special about this region? If we talk about the Mudumal region in this portion of Telangana, you can see these are the rock like erections or monoliths. These are the rock structures which we see here, the monolith which we are seeing here. So what is unique about them? What is unique about them? Like, why they are being recognized? Why they are being recognized as, or why they have been nominated for recognition as World Heritage Site? What's so special about them? Burial site. Now, it's not that much simple. It's not that much simple. Although there is a burial site also here. There is also a presence of burial site here. But this is very much important or prominent because this site is also used for the study of astronomical things. These rocks structures which are there, the rock structures which are there, they are being used to know about the date and position of constellations of various things like Leo constellation, Ursa constellation, Ursa Minor, Virgo, Taurus, etc. So these are not simply any such rock structures. They are nearly 1200 large sized stones standing vertically, and this is mapping the sky. This is mapping the sky. It is telling us that in which direction, what type of constellation is present there. So this is a depiction of the constellation of the sky. That's why this menhir in Telangana, in Mudumal region, is very much prominent. There is also burial site near this menhir. That if we look at the whole area, there is a burial site also in there. But this is prominent not because of the burial site. This is prominent because it is used for this calculation of the constellations. It is being used for the calculation of the constellations like the Leo, Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Virgo, Taurus, etc. So it is being used for mapping the sky, and it has been put on tentative list. Like the Telangana government has forwarded it to center. Center has officially put it on tentative list. Okay. So we have discussed the process. We have discussed this part, that first a country puts certain sites on tentative list. There is a nomination of those sites. Then the World Heritage Committee will observe those sites, and accordingly it may be given the tag of World Heritage Site. Okay. So even if it is not given, then still it is a very prominent place. Okay. Now, one more question from you. One more question from you. In India, can you tell me which are the latest inclusion? Which are the latest inclusion in World Heritage Sites? The latest inclusions in the World Heritage Sites. We have discussed that last class also. How is that? How is it possible? No, like it's not like we are. Suppose when you are making a map of the world, when you are making a map of the world, what do you draw there? Do you draw the actual size of it? Do you draw the actual size of the world, or do you simply represent it on a paper? And even that representation can give you the idea that, okay, Europe is in the northern part. Just below that, we have Africa. Just on the eastern side, we have Asia. And on the northern side, we have this Greenland and the Arctic Sea. Then we have this North America, South America. So you are able to understand the directions of different things on world map also, that too in a tiny version. And here we are just trying to map the sky. That is giving just a like idea. That is just giving the idea of it. So I hope now that is clear. Yes, Moidam was there. Moidam was the latest inclusion. It is there in Assam. And prior to that, we have the Shanti Niketan and Sacred Ensembles of Hoysalas. Okay. So we have these three locations in the past. The Moidams, which are the burial grounds. Okay. Burial grounds of a home kingdom, a home rulers. Then we have this Shanti Niketan. Here we have this Shanti Niketan. Shanti Niketan, and on this side we have the Sacred Ensembles of Hoysalas. On this side we have the Hoysala architecture. Okay. So these are the three last recognized sites from India. The Moidams, it was the latest inclusion. Prior to that, we have Shanti Niketan and Sacred Ensembles of Hoysalas. Okay. So these are the latest inclusion. Let's see how many more are getting included in the future. Okay. Now, coming to the second topic. So there is this one topic, free speech survey. There is this one free speech survey. And this free speech survey is giving this report about, giving this idea about the status of free speech in the world and India. And what is India's ranking? Okay, if we talk about India's rank, it is 24 out of 33. So total 33 countries have been evaluated. In the world, 33 countries have been evaluated. Out of that, India has been ranked on 24th number. Okay. Norway and Denmark, of course, they have been top. Okay. We have Norway, Denmark, they are on the top. Okay. They are on the top side. Okay. India was between South Africa and Lebanon. Okay. So what we see that India's rank is quite low. Out of the 33 countries, India is ranking 24. Now there is another part of it. 37% of people in India, according to this survey which was conducted by Future of Free Speech, like there is a NGO, Future of Free Speech. It is a think tank based in United States. Future of Free Speech. Future of Free Speech. This is a think tank based in United States. Now what we see that there is this one report also that in India around 37% of the people believe that government policies should not be criticized, or if people are criticizing government policies, then government can make laws or government can stop them from criticizing any government policy. So that is one of the challenging aspect. It is highest in the world. 37% of Indian people, according to this survey, believe that government can curtail any such free speech or any such speech which is criticizing the government policies. Now you know that in any democracy of the world, this is one of the most common and one of the most acceptable thing, that people and media are going to criticize government policies. It may be good, then also people have the right to criticize it. Even if there is a good policy, it may be good for 98%. Even if it is bad for 2% of the people have right to criticize it. That is the hallmark of democracy, that you have the right to criticize. That is the hallmark of democracy. Okay. But in India, 37% people believe that people should not be criticizing the government. People should not be criticizing the government policies. So that is one of the survey. Now we are going to see that what are the constitutional provisions for free speech in India. Okay. Constitutional provisions. So which provision in Indian Constitution provides for freedom of speech? I think all of you know that. All of you know that part, that which article of Indian Constitution provides this freedom of speech and expression. I think all of you know that. Can you tell me which one is there? Article, yes. If we talk about this, Article 19, it talks about the freedom of speech and expression. Freedom of speech and expression. The Article 19, which is a fundamental right in India, it says that every citizen of India has right to freedom of speech and expression. Every citizen of India has the right to freedom of speech and expression. Now in India, in the Constitution, there is no such mention for the journalism, that will journalists have fundamental rights or not. But from this part itself, there is also this part, freedom of the press. Freedom of the press. So we have this freedom of the press, which again comes with the same thing, Article 19(1). There is also this part, we have this option to right to express opinion and dissent. Any person who is not satisfied with government policy have the right, have the fundamental right to show the dissent. Okay. So right to express opinion, right to express opinion and dissent. Opinion and dissent. Like suppose if government tomorrow launches a scheme and you think that this scheme is not good, so you can say at any platform, at any place, at any location that this policy is not good. You can go near the parliament and say that this policy is not good. You can say it to the face of a minister, you can say it to the face of any official, and that is your right. That is the freedom of speech. Okay. That is the freedom of speech which is guaranteed by the Constitution. This also provides us right to receive and share information. Right to receive and share information. Receive and share information. If government is making a road, no matter where it is being constructed, if government is making any such plan, any such building, each and every citizen of India, like suppose tomorrow government announces a building in, let us say, near the Parliament House, and there is a person who is situated there in Andaman and Nicobar Island. Even if he wants to know that how much money has been spent by the government on making that building, so he has the right to know that. He has the right to receive that information and also share it with others. So from here itself, the freedom of the press also originates. The freedom of the press also originates from there, that the media has the right to receive the information from the government and also share it with the public. So that is also part. Then there is also one thing, freedom of artistic and academic expression. Okay. So there is freedom of artistic and academic expression. See, just for one example, when you are reading Lakshmikant or when you are reading polity, you are reading a part about Indian Constitution. When you are reading that what are the criticisms of Indian Constitution, you read one part, that Indian Constitution is a lawyer's paradise. It is a lawyer's paradise. So you are saying something that our Constitution is having this problem. It means, yes, you can say something about it. If you are not liking a provision of it, you have the option to say that, okay, there are certain things in Constitution which may not be that much good. So that is also the same right which is guaranteed by the Constitution, itself, that you can have this like academic discussion about the Constitution, that okay, Constitution is having some of the challenges. It is a lawyer's paradise. It is too much lengthy. It is not easily understandable by a common people, by a common person. So that is the freedom of expression which is guaranteed by the Indian Constitution itself. Okay. So that is one part. But this freedom of speech and expression is not absolute. It is not absolute. It is subject to certain terms and conditions. There is reasonable restrictions. There is also this reasonable restrictions. Okay. That also comes from the Constitution itself, Article 19, subclause 2. Okay. So there is also this reasonable restriction that free speech can be restricted if it is impacting the sovereignty and integrity of the country. Okay. If there is any impact on sovereignty and integrity of the nation, so then in that situation free speech can be curtailed. If there is any such thing which impacts the security of the state, then the freedom of speech can be curtailed. Security of a state. If there is a challenge with respect to public order or decency and morality, public order and this decency and morality. So this is also a very significant part, decency and morality. That on this part also, you cannot say immoral things outrightly in public. You cannot say immoral things outrightly in public. So that is also one part which is secured by the constitution itself. Okay. Then friendly relations with neighbor. Friendly relations with other countries. So this is also one part. Let's suppose if anyone is too much criticizing other country, which can cause a problem with that nation, then that freedom of speech can again be curtailed. Then there is other things also like contempt of court, defamation, incitement to offense, etc., etc. Okay. So these are some of the common reasonable restrictions on the freedom of speech. Okay. Now, like at the same time, what we also see that we also have got some legal safeguard. We also have got some legal safeguard for our freedom of speech. Like suppose that if the government, any government, state government, panchayat, municipality or the central government, if any government of the country, if it is trying to curtail the freedom of speech of any person, then who they can approach? They will be approaching the High Court or Supreme Court. High Court or Supreme Court. So High Court and Supreme Court will ensure that the freedom of speech and expression is maintained. Okay. So this is one part. Then also we see that there is this right to information, RTI Act. RTI Act. So this RTI Act has given more and more impetus on this part. Let's suppose if we are talking about any person. So it's not that when the person will seek the information from the government, only then they will provide. RTI simply says that it's the responsibility of the government to put most of the information in the public domain. And even after that, if someone is not satisfied, they will again approach the government and they have to provide the data. They have to provide the information. So this one, right to information Act has also been one of the most important safeguard for freedom of speech and expression. Why this is essential? Why RTI is essential? It is said that you can express yourself only when you have the information. When you have the information, then only you can express something. Like suppose that if you want to say that okay, government may have ordered the construction of a railway bridge or a road bridge, but in your mind, in your opinion, that is not accurate or it has not been constructed in a well manner. Now in that scenario, you need the access to that information, that how much money has been spent, in what manner money has been spent. So when you get that information, only then you can say that okay, there may have been some scam or there is some scam in this road construction or bridge construction. So RTI is the bedrock for the right to freedom of speech and expression. So these are the legal safeguards which are available for freedom of speech. But now, all these things are on one side. Now, can you tell me this part? That if we talk about India, what are the challenges with respect to freedom of speech and expression? Why it has been said time and again, not by one agencies, multiple agencies within India and outside India, that there is a continuous challenge to the freedom of speech and expression in India. Why this is continuously being said within the country also and from outside the country also? Why it is there? Like, what is the reason behind this? Why we say that there is this issue of freedom of speech and expression in India? What is the reason? Anyone? Why do we say that? Why do we say that there is a challenge with respect to free speech in India? What are the challenges? What are the challenges? Anyone? What are the challenges? I think all of you know that. Like, we have got, no, what are the challenges with respect to hate speech? Sorry, not hate speech. What are the challenges with respect to free speech in India? Why it is being said that? Why it is being said that there is a threat or there is a continuous challenge to the freedom of speech and expression? Democracy. Give more like a specific answer. The like sedition laws, UAPA, quota, mocha, makoka, etc., etc. So there are various laws. There are various laws which are imposed or which has been used to silence the people if they are expressing something about the government. Okay. So there has been abuse. There have been abuse of these laws, abuse of sedition laws, UAPA, quota, etc. So that is one of the major challenge. Then we have seen in the past also that in the recent times after Myanmar, India is the second country where we have got the maximum number of internet shutdown. We have got the maximum number of internet shutdown after Myanmar. Myanmar is having just one more internet shutdown as compared to India. So what we see that internet shutdown. Internet shutdown. Then what we see that there is also this one challenge, defamation cases. Defamation cases. There is also this one challenge, defamation cases. Okay. What we see that there was a time, like seriously there was a time, if you just go through the archives of Doordarshan, which was a government owned television channel. If you go through the archives of Doordarshan, you will find that the prominent leaders, not just any one spokesperson, the prominent leaders used to sit there. Prominent leaders, like just to give you a name, Atal Bihari Vajpayee used to sit in the newsroom of Doordarshan, and he was being directly questioned by the public. He was being directly criticized by the public. So that used to be the the level of tolerance in the politicians at that time. Now if you say even a single thing to any of the spokesperson of any political party, then they might file a defamation case against you, or the police may come to your home. So that is one of the major challenge. Okay. Then we have also one thing, censorship on artistic freedom. Censorship on artistic freedom. Many a times, some of the cartoonists have been sent to jail, not by the union government alone, by various state governments. Some of the cartoon artists or some of the those who are writing satires and all, they have been sent to jail because they have written something against the government or against the chief minister or the party in power. So cartoon artists or artists have been sent to jail. Their books or their materials have been censored. These are the levels of, or these are the main challenges for the freedom of speech and expression. And above all of this, these are all simple challenges. Above all of this, there is one major challenge: lack of awareness. Lack of awareness among citizens. That is one of the major challenge. That is one of the major challenge. You can see the report also says that 37% of the people, that is nearly 40%, 40% of the people believe in India that people should not be criticizing government policies. In United Kingdom, this figure is 3%. It is 3% in United Kingdom, 37% in India. So from there you can understand what is the level of awareness in the Indian citizens. So that is also one of the challenge. People think that, okay, this, if the government is there, the government can do anything and no one should be criticizing the government. So we have not been able to come out of that colonial mindset that government is no longer the ruler of the country, government is serving the people. We have that colonial mindset still in our minds that government is the ruler of the country. Government is not the ruler. Government is serving the people. People are the ruler. So that is one thing which we have to change. That is one thing which have to change from time to time. But again, these are the challenges with respect to this freedom of speech and expression in India. Okay. So that is our second topic, freedom of speech and expression. Okay. Now, coming to this third part, Supreme Court and Lokpal issue. Now, we have discussed about this topic in the past also, okay, that Lokpal has suo moto taken this power that it can also take cases against the court judges of High Court. There was this one thing that Lokpal has said that it can take even corruption cases against the judges of a High Court. Okay. Although there was a stay on that order by the Supreme Court, but now Supreme Court has started the hearing of that case. Okay. So we have discussed that in the past also. We have discussed about Lokpal. In today's session, we are going to revise a few things with respect to prelims purpose. Okay. We are going to see what are the different jurisdiction of Supreme Court. There is one jurisdiction which is called as original jurisdiction. The first one is original jurisdiction. When we talk about original jurisdiction, it means, original jurisdiction means people won't have to go to the lower court for that. People won't have to go for the lower court for that. They can directly approach the higher courts like the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court has got original and exclusive. Exclusive means no other court can interfere in that. So Supreme Court has got original and exclusive jurisdiction in certain cases. What are those cases? The first one is if there is a dispute between union and a state or states and states. Okay. If there is a dispute between union and a state or states and states, so in that situation, Supreme Court has got the original and exclusive jurisdiction. Okay. So that is one part. Now, second thing is there is also one thing called as writ jurisdiction. So writ jurisdiction, you know that they have got the 5 different things: habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibitory, certiorari. Okay. So these things are there, and quo warranto. So they are there for the enforcement of fundamental rights. So writ jurisdiction, it is there for fundamental right. Okay. Then they have this third jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction. The Supreme Court can hear appeal of the cases from various tribunals also, and even from the high courts. Okay. So here we see that on constitutional matters, civil cases as well as criminal cases. So on civil case also, Supreme Court has this appellate jurisdiction. On constitutional cases also, they have got the appellate jurisdiction, and even on a criminal case, they have got this appellate jurisdiction. Now, generally in exam you may get this question that does the Supreme Court have exclusive jurisdiction in case of constitutional case? Okay, like suppose there is an interpretation of constitution, so has it to be done only and only by the Supreme Court? The answer is no. You can see in various cases, in various matters, High Court has also given judgment with respect to the various articles of the Constitution. Okay. Whether it is the case of Naj Foundation or others, or in various other cases also, High Court has given also this judgment on constitutional matters as well. Okay, so that is not the exclusive. That comes under this appellate jurisdiction. Then we have this SLP, special lay jurisdiction. Now this was supposed to be one of the rarest jurisdiction of Supreme Court, but in fact this is now one of the most, okay, they are coming under this special leave jurisdiction. Okay. So this is one important part. This is one important part of SLP. Okay. Now there is also this thing, advisory jurisdiction. Okay. So advisory jurisdiction comes under Article 143, and it is simply one thing: the President can refer questions of law or fact to the Supreme Court for its opinion. Okay. Then we have this review jurisdiction also under Article 37. The Supreme Court can review its own judgments also, so that is also its power. Okay. And contempt of court also under Article 129 and 142. Okay. So even if you forget about this one, this is very important: review jurisdiction, advisory jurisdiction, and this SLP, Article 136. These are three very important things. REIT you already know. REIT is under Article 32. So that you already know. And even if we talk about this original jurisdiction, Article 131 is there. So Article 131, Article 136, then we have Article 137 review, Article 143 advisory. So these are four important jurisdictions which you have to keep in mind, that in what cases Supreme Court has the jurisdiction. Okay. So right now Supreme Court has got this appellate jurisdiction in case of Lokpal. Okay. In case of Lokpal, there is an appellate jurisdiction which is being used. Okay. But now these are all major jurisdictions of the Supreme Court. In the prelims exam, you can be asked questions on this. Okay. I hope that is clear. On this part, you have got questions in exam also. On this part, you may get questions in exam also about the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. I hope this portion is clear, that what are the different jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Okay. Now, coming to the one last topic. Coming to this one last topic about the women and their participation in political process. About the women and their participation in the political process. So see, this is again an article from this the Hindu. Okay. And what is the essence of this article? What is the essence of this article? Let me show you one data first, and then we will talk about it. Okay. Let me show you one data first. In 2009, the male voter turnout was 60%. Female voter turnout was 55.82. In 2014, you can see that there is a significant jump. There is a significant jump from 55 to 65.63. then 67.18. In fact, what you can see that in 2019, the male voter was 67.01. Male voter turnout was 67.01 and female voter turnout was 67.18%. In 2024 also, male voter turnout was 65.6%. In the case of female, it was 65.8%. So this is giving us an idea that now the female voter turnout is not only equal, but sometimes it is even more than the male voter turnout in case of the Lok Sabha elections. And in the last 15 years, from 2009 to 2024, we have seen a significant jump from 55% to 65%. In the past, it has been even more, 67% also. Okay. So that is one of the significant aspect with respect to female voter participation in India. Okay. Now, so what is the issue? What is the challenge? Like behavior of voter. Behavior. So this article which was there, the article which was there in the Hindu, it was talking about this dimension, that what is the behavior of female voter, like how they are voting. How they are voting. Traditionally, it was believed that like the female voters are voting according to their households, okay, or according to their like family. Traditional view were seeing that women were dependent voters. They were influenced by the male family members of the society. Even now, to some extent, this is true. Even now, to some extent, it is true that many of the people are getting influenced by their family members. That someone is taking the decision in the family that who you will be voting towards. Like the entire family is going to vote towards one candidate or one political party. Okay. So this is a traditional view. But in the case of women, the votes are now being influenced by various things, factors which are there. If we look at this, there is a traditional factor. There is a traditional factor which was believed that dominated by family choice. Dominated by family choice. But now what we see that present times, if we look at the present times, we see that there are a number of factors like caste, class, region and community. Okay. Caste, class, region and even religion or community. So they are the factors which are influencing the women voter. But what is not influencing them? What is not influencing the women voter? Not a factor. What is there not as a factor? It is gender solidarity. Gender solidarity is not a factor for the Indian women voters. Okay. So what we see that this is one part. This is one part that women are not a group of voters, or women as a gender is not a voting block. They are voting according to caste, class, region or religion. They are not voting according to the gender. So that is one aspect. There is another aspect. There is another aspect. This is about the voting post elections. Post elections. What we see that there are two things in India in which women have got little bit of lack of interest. Okay. To all the women, do not get offended. This is not my saying. This is as per the research. Okay. So there is a lack of interest in two things in particular. One is cricket, other is politics. Okay. So there is one thing. If we look at this post-election, very little participation. Very little participation or engagement in political processes. Political processes. So what we see that the participation of women in the post-election period is continuously on the lower side. Okay. Continuously on the lower side. So that's why, like, if you see the other groups of the society, like you have said, you may have seen this part that if someone is very much engaged during this entire political process, so during the election, they used to leverage that. Like suppose there is any X community. There is a X community. So for 5 years, if they are continuously there arguing different issues or arguing about different topics, then during the election, they would have a higher leverage as compared to any others. Like suppose that if there are farmers, so farmers are one of the voting blocks. They are one of the blocks. The industrial laborers, they are also a block. Sometimes you may have seen that in various states, the teachers, the school teachers, they also form a block. So they become a voting bank or a vote bank. But women are not able to be converted into a vote bank because they are not voting as per their gender. They are voting as per caste, class, region or religion. So that's why the author is suggesting that in India, there is less focus on gender empowerment or gender sensitivity or like a gender friendly budget or gender budget in India. Why? Because gender, especially women, are not evolving as a vote bank. They are easily fragmented into region, religion, caste, class, etc. That is one of the things which has been argued in this article. Plus, at the same time, there are other factors. There are other factors which influence these things. There is one of the factor like migration. There is also one thing, migration, employment, and even like employment opportunities, migration, socio-economic factor, social factors. They are also influencing the voting behavior. They also impact the voting behavior, but mostly it is done by region, religion, caste and class. Okay, so that is one of the challenges for the women voters in India. If they want to establish themselves as a vote bank, they will have to go for gender solidarity. Then women empowerment, especially in politics arena, will be much more faster as compared to any other thing. Okay, so that will be all for today. Please suggest some sources for economic survey till which month we have to prepare current affairs for prelims of this year. So for prelims of this year, even if you are preparing till March 2025, it will be sufficient, or maximum April 15. Maximum April 15. After that, you don't need it. Even March 2025, even if you have covered till that, it is more than sufficient. Okay. For economic survey, just go through this one part. You have this, what we say, summary of the budget and survey. So if you just go through that, you will find some of the tables which are given there, charts which are given there. Just go through them. That is sufficient. In this year economic survey, there is no such very significant terminologies or other things which has been added. So it is just the charts and tables. Just go through them. That will be more than sufficient. Okay. Okay. So Thank you so much. Sachin, I am good. I hope all of you are also doing well. Now, thank you so much. Let's meet tomorrow then at the same time in the evening at 5 p.m. and then we will discuss other topics. Thank you. Take care. All the best. Thank you.